Peace and Black Power family, welcome to another Sarnetta TV, Black News 102, Sarnetta Studios, House of Consciousness production. As you can see on the screen, there is none other than one of our grand master teachers, Father Allah. Unfortunately, the babies of today don't know who this man is, but I guarantee you, there's a brother that is coming out the nation that bears witness, that shows and forth and proves that the Father is still alive. It is brothers like Born Master Allah that comes along to show and prove that the messenger teachings is still alive and well. And this is what helps keep him alive. Make no mistake about it. I was so happy that the brother contacted me. Born Master Allah. And when he contacted me, I said, there it is. We are about to form Voltron. And what I mean by that is, now all the puzzle is beginning to come together. The Hebrews, the Muslims, the Moors, the 5%ers, and of course, the Kemetic brothers. And now we are forming Voltron. This is what makes up the body of God. You are not God individually, but when we all can come together as one, that's when we become God. You feel me? Peace and Black Power, family.
Deal with the peanut. The young guy even told me, hundreds. The young guy told me he was even able to build a house out of peanut fibers. So original man do that. That's why they have to steal everything from us. That's where the rob, stealing, and killing comes from. Because they can't produce that electrical current. They can't receive that electromagnetic energy in their organs to then receive the problem-solving ideas.
It was even like he took the knowledge that he had from the plane and gave it to Henry Ford.
Oh yeah.
For him to build something like a production line, to build factories. That's why it's called actually the plant.
That's right, the plant.
It's operating like the inside or the inside mechanisms of a plant.
Right.
The cellular principle.
Yeah, Henry Ford ate off George Washington Carver all day.
Right.
The assembly line, basically what you call it.
Even the U.S. government to the soybean.
Yeah, the soybean. A lot of people only know him for the peanut, but they don't understand he was responsible for the soybean being popular at the level that it's popular.
Right, to produce plastic for the U.S. government.
Exactly, but not to make burgers and thick chicken with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we making burgers and chicken with it. Alright, so I'm going to repeat that again. The process will repeat again and again until the electromagnetic energy stores in the solid internal organ to reach its maximum saturation. When the equilibrium is accomplished, the contact between solid and hollow internal organs is closed for nearly half of the normal period. This is why they're still in our organs, right?
Yes.
This is why our organs are top of the list.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? White man go down, he needs an organ. Yo, he's looking for somebody melanin dominant to get that organ.
Hey, you got that article I sent you the other day?
I didn't get a chance to look at it.
Man.
Did you see it, Herb? Okay. Yeah. That's why they still in our organs.
Yeah, that's why they study the cells.
So
stem cell research.
Yeah. Oh man, that's all they doing.
Right.
And again, Loyola African been talking about this years ago. That's all they doing is studying the black body. They studying melanin. They studying us to produce everything that they have, to solve all their diseases, to produce all their technologies. All they doing is studying us.
Right. And they
the whole time.
Include this equally with science. When they start listening to us when we manifest certain things, because we come up with solutions to certain problems.
Yes.
They don't want to give the recognition to us, but they see it.
Yeah.
Right. Even when you go into like the mobile data and you're dealing with like even a cell phone or whatever the case may be, it's an original man that's actually behind that.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I'm saying? Emmett McHenry, and then previous before him, who developed the technology for them to even start the cell phone, you're dealing with Henry T. Sampson.
Yeah.
So they basically utilizing us to further their technology and studying the inside of our minds and our molecular structure
Yes.
to improve upon
That's
something
interested
to
in.
actually go against us.
Absolutely.
Right.
Henrietta Lacks. You know? Henrietta Lacks. That's another thing. So we have to understand, I actually did a class, it was called The Biology of Economics. And I'm going to bring it back. I'm going to reload it and bring it back. Because it's all about how they didn't build any empire on this planet that did not either directly or indirectly come through us.
Yes.
They either received the information that our ancestors left behind so they could build it, or they had us build it, and most of the time they did both of them. Every major bank, every insurance company, which is the bedrock of Western economy, was built on the backs of slaves. It was all built through slavery. Wall Street, it was Negroes who built the wall. It was literal wall, and it was black people that built the wall. You get what I'm saying? So even New York itself was built by original people, physically and economically. The first commodity on Wall Street was Negroes. So we gotta understand, they don't get anything. They don't possess the power to produce or create anything. All they can do is copy or steal. That's it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And
In fact,
that comes along with being the second. So that what's innate to
Right.
us is to be the creator and the
Absolutely.
progenitors of civilization. They can only come behind that and study and duplicate because they are a duplication.
Right.
They're just made in the likeness. They are not the.
they're GMO.
Right.
They're genetically modified organisms.
Right.
You got what I'm saying? So that we get confused when they selling us genetically modified food. That's who they are. They can only do what they can do. So that's why they even keep us around them. They know that we absorb this electromagnetic energy from the cosmos, even in our cells, in our organs. So they even keep us around them so we can come up with ideas and concepts to help further their causes. You know, once we wake up. The collagen are made of very long chains of transistors. Each one has to wait for the transistor ahead of it in line to flip one way or the other before it can do anything. So again, collagen, and we're going to talk about melanin, you know, minus that protein, right? So we're going to talk about melanin. You have a brain on the outside of you, period. You have a brain. So when we talk about transistors all over your body, all over your skin, you know, you receive and transmit signals. Just you as a being. You know, we ain't got to your brain yet. We talk about the biggest organ,
Which is the skin.
which is your skin. Because it is relatively very long distance transmission for electrons in the protein molecules, check that out. I'm going to say that again. Because it is relatively very long distance transmission of electrons in the protein molecules. You got what I'm saying? We need to get off this idea that we supposed to be consuming protein, or protein is supposed to be in our body. We got to get out this idea. Integrated circuit to transmit. The electron disappear from the beginning to the end. Let me read that again. Because it is relatively very long distance transmission for electrons in the protein molecules, integrated circuit to transmit, the electron disappear from the beginning to the end. The transmission condition of the electromagnetic signals is like an avalanche reaction of energy cascades in which the junction of the diode breaks down. As a result of the breakdown of the barrier put up at the junction, electrons can move easily across the junction. In the protein molecules, it is an unusually large amount of impurities. I mean, I don't know how to, it doesn't get any more plain than that. It doesn't get any more plain than that. So when we talk about cellular regeneration, we talk about in the proteins. That's why we have to understand who we are. Get off of that. And we know what's in protein. It's nitrogen. That's what actually makes it a protein. That's not who we are. This leads to high concentration of charged carriers and also leads to a reduction of the critical voltage for an avalanche reaction of energy cascades. It leads to a reduction of this critical voltage. So we wonder why we have all these problems as original people, right? Historically, we were the most intelligent people on this planet. We built structures that were aligned with the cosmos and didn't have any signs of technology that they have today, or telescopes and things of that nature. So they say, how did we do it? How did we do it?
We actually developed like a paradigm to actually mimic the science of the universe.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And what keeps it going and what actually generates that particular energy inside the universe and inside us, and made that relation between the two. To develop our own systems, even political systems and civilization.
The mathematics that run a government, all these systems that exist today run a government that was designed by black people.
Right.
Hey, that's what's the name, bro?
Born True Club.
Born True. Peace, God. I'm saying to you, we just made a profound statement. So profound. I think we like went over a lot of our fucking head, because the principle behind the actual system that the biological use is what actually the economics, like he was saying, is based on. The fact that they made the principle asinine, you see what I'm saying? And once they think it don't work.
Right.
And that's how they make our people always buy into what they do. Because we wind up practicing this shit. That don't work. See, it's the fucking, it's like the ultimate fucking illusion, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To a degree, you know what I'm saying? And they always got people thinking that they never sustain enough knowledge or the sufficient knowledge to grow independent,
Right.
Or actually what's being done and shit, you know?
Right. They have to keep us cut off from the universe and the cosmos, because they are cut off from it. And once we reconnect to it, and to add on what the God was saying, if you watch the video, it's I think it's a 4-hour video called "The Quest for Lost Civilization." Right?
Oh yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah, the Quest for Lost Civilization is European with his black wife, and they're going around all the ancient structures and showing how they not only know about precession of the equinoxes, but they were mathematically aligned with the cosmos, not in just one part of the world, but in all the part of the pyramids all over the world. Pyramids in what's now called Mexico, of course Kemet. They had underwater structures in Japan. They had some in I think Ireland. And when you add it all up together, they all connected all over the world, and it was like a map reflecting the heavens. And this was global. So it wasn't like we did this in Kemet.
Like that too.
It wasn't like we just did this in Kemet. We did it in Mexico. We did it in Japan.
Right.
And then when you take as a filmmaker, when you take a worm's eye view shot, you see how it all connects, and it's just a map of the heavens on planet Earth. We are an amazing people, but we lost that science. And one of the reasons why we lost that science is because, like it's telling you about the impurities in the protein in your cells, the impurities, and how it lessens the voltage. The voltage. So you're not even conducting the way you're supposed to conduct. A lot of it has to do with diet, environment. You put all that together, you know. Throw a little bit of religion in there, we gone. You know what I mean? Add some love and hip hop on top of that. You know,
Some empire now.
Change the vibration of a people.
Yeah.
Different sounds. If they operating off that frequency of the universe, all you gotta do is change that frequency and have them totally off balance.
right. And that's what's happening right now. You know what I mean?
We get back.
Throw some modern hip hop in there, and we completely gone. We completely gone. Walking down the street eating. And then when we start away in terms of eating is plant based, then they got us eating, plastic soy burgers. So we gone. And then they got us eating mushrooms, thinking that that's a plant, and it's not even a plant.
It's a parasite.
You know what I'm saying? Not even a plant. In fact, if you study funguses, they're closer to animals than they are closer to plants. Yeah, they got us gone. You know what I mean? We'll bring it back.
It's a planet fungus.
The avalanche reaction of energy cascades is to carry the electrons without delay, much time, and electromagnetic energy without losing any energy to pass. That means we should be straight absorbing this energy from the cosmos, straight up. Like we shouldn't even be losing any of it. So if we could conduct this energy that's actually holding the universe together, and we can't hold a family together,
Right.
something's wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Structures and plans and mapping out the whole plan on how
Right.
to be successful on certain things. That should be coming automatic.
Automatic. And that's why, that's why when we were taught, when the Father taught us that our language is mathematics, we understand that the universe has a natural language, which is mathematics. And when we don't live our culture of mathematics, then we're easily taken out. Because mathematics has no beginning, has no end. We want to call ourselves this, we want to call ourselves that. You know what I mean? All of it has a beginning and it has an ending.
And we already great.
That's what I'm saying. So all we got to do is live according to the laws of mathematics.
So just be who you are.
Because the collagens are insoluble in the aqueous solution, that is one of the best electrical semiconductors in human. And of course, when they're talking about us, you take the protein out, we are talking about melanin. These can be attracted to the cathode at highest efficiencies. The bone marrow can continuously produce one of the highest current efficient negative potentials in the human body. So our very bone structure, not only are we the physical manifested form of this dark energy, dark matter, electromagnetic field, but then our body itself is designed to then conduct that energy even on this physical plane. And it's designed to do it at the highest level of efficiency when we do it correctly, when we're not following the devil. The bone marrow used as a base cathode to obtain the ostenone by electroplating. Let me move on. Factors affecting the resulting ostenone electroplating include current density, concentration of collagen. Let's go to current density. We're talking about the density of the bones. Again, if you don't have 120, see the sister back there, sign it up, because they're telling you it's been in the lessons the whole time. That's why the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was so successful in his undertakings. That's why Allah was so successful at building what he built and keeping people here even 50 years later, because it's all in the lessons. They've been telling you that the devil is weak-boned and weak-blooded. And this science is telling you that's why he can't conduct the electrical charge necessary to be righteous on this planet. He can't come up with these ideas and concepts, so he has to cut your throat to get whatever he got.
He can't sustain life.
Exactly. And even when we try it, it don't work. When we try his systems, it don't work. Because we are mathematical by nature. That's why we have we talked about mirror neurons.
Also, you can see the danger in miscegenation when you're dealing with the science of, like, even if you take it as simple as looking at, like, the NBA, right? And you see how Julius Erving can still dunk at this particular time.
Yeah.
But you look at someone like a Blake Griffin, who bones are slowly starting to chip away from that weak blood that entered into his gene pool.
That's right.
That's right. That's what it is.
Yes.
Yes. Actual fact.
Yes.
So that's his problem.
Yes. His bones are starting to break down. His elbow, his knees, he's not even dunking the same.
Starting to break down already.
Right.
He's not even 25, I don't think. You know what I mean?
Okay, so based on this conversation, that means if he was to go get some original man blood, man, a transfusion, original man blood, that's supposed to kill all the things he's suffering.
He already has that in his bloodstream because his old dad is a straight novice.
Yeah, but listen what I'm saying.
Yeah, but listen, it will help them, but it won't be the end all be all.
Right.
That's why they were sucking up blood.
The end all be all.
Right.
Just the fact that because of the principle we're discussing, is certain reactions you're gonna get from the adverse reaction. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So if in fact the breakdown is because of the fact that the blood that he's carrying don't got the charge.
Right.
Once that become part of the system, that's supposed to put him back up on his games.
It should, but here's the thing. If you don't have the proper melanin to modulate that electrical charge, you still can go but so far. Because the one thing they keep saying in this science, not only they talking about the bone density, but they talking about the collagen. They're talking about the skin. They're talking about the melanin. So even if, and that's what they was doing, they was consuming the mummies, right? Drinking blood, so on and so forth, to get that electricity that's in the original man's blood. You got what I'm saying? But still, without that melanin to modulate it, they still can only go but so far.
Making brown paper bags and such out of that. Yeah.
Yeah, they have a beginning, they have an ending. That's it. Even when we talked about the the class we did on mirror neurons, they were talking about how if you had a genetic disposition, right?
Sorry about that, brother.
It's all right, brother.
I'm trying to cut this off right now.
It's all right. Basically, if you graft it and your gene pool is weak, you can't even produce the mirror neurons that we produce as original people. And those mirror neurons is when you watch somebody doing something, the same neurons fire as if you were doing it yourself.
The guy can't produce enough. He produces it.
No, he can produce them. He just can't produce them at the quality that we produce them. In fact, his neurons don't even fire at the quality ours fire because it's melanin, which helps it fire.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
When it becomes calcified at what age? Like in his teenage years.
Yeah.
We visualize it.
Some of them is born already.
Visualize it and understand it.
Right.
That's
So,
the difference.
and when we talked about the mirror neurons, we were talking about identifying. We were talking about sympathy. It deals with sympathy. So you see somebody getting killed, getting beat up, right? Sympathize automatically because of your mirror neurons. You feel like it's you that is happening to you, right? But because they can't produce the level of mirror neurons, they don't have that same sympathy. That's why they can do what they did to Emmett Till, and it don't even affect them.
Not at all.
You got what I'm saying? Now this beast that done did everything to our community. I could drag a crack in here now. We stomp on the death, and I'm sure half of the class, if not all of us, I'd be like, yo, you know what I mean? Calm down a little bit. That's who we are by nature. You know what I'm saying? They can take a 14-year-old boy, drag him, gouge his eyes out, beat him till he's unrecognizable, and they have the ability to do this. You know what I'm saying? But when we understand what we're dealing with, we don't have to get upset. You're dealing with biological you're dealing with a biological inferiority. You got what I'm saying? There's just certain things that they don't have, cannot grow by nature. So we gotta treat it like that.
Yeah, naturally, our system is in tune with nature, with the universe, positive and negative. Our system is in tune with positive in the universe. We understand the right and wrong.
Right.
Right.
The irony of that is they say you need to grow by calling you a Negro.
Right. Yeah. That's to keep you off balance.
Yeah.
That's why Dr. Amos and Wilson, in the book, The Falsification of African Consciousness, he said for black people to be in the state that they are in today, we have to be completely turned around. You get what I'm saying? I love that ancestor right there. Get anything that you can from Dr. Amos and Wilson.
Right, he touches on the black child too. Like how
awaken the genius of the black child. Yeah.
Right.
Awaken the natural genius.
Saying that she's already, we are already born advanced, already more than any other baby.
Absolutely.
Right.
Born in what? See?
Like we are already born from our mother's womb, already in tune with everything. You know what I'm saying? Like we are more advanced. We're able to do things at an early development stage than everybody.
Until we go into their schools and they dumb us down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And give us milk. You know what I'm saying? Give us dairy. Yeah, dumb us down. Let's see. We talked about bone density, concentration of collagens, which again for us they talking about melanins. Temperature.
You want to sit down?
Temperature. This is something that we don't talk about a lot. I mean, I talk about it a lot. Temperature. We don't understand how just this environment itself, this temperature alone, is affecting us. Right? So you eat the wrong foods. You in the European school system being dumbed down. You're already out of your head because you're dealing with religion. And now you're in a temperature that don't even allow you to access your fullest abilities. Biologically. Yeah, so it's a lot of things that, that's going against us. In fact, it's this whole system that the European built. Because by nature, he's against us. By nature. You know what I mean? We ain't got to get,
this is the
excited, about it. It just is what it is. He can't help it.
Right. This is the Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah, he was made that way. That's why these systems don't work for us. Conduction of solution, pH, and additional agents. The thickness of osteonome electroplated on the bone marrow depends on the current density, the depositing time, and cathode efficiency. So again, the cathode, which is the ability to receive electrons, which is electricity, and we understand that the density of the bones affects the cathode efficiency. So if you're dealing with somebody that's weak bone, we know what happens. First, because of the periosteum has relatively strong negative charge in comparison to the surrounding muscle. The osteon will be selectively attracted to periosteum. Then because the bone marrow has even stronger negative charge than the periosteum, the osteon already attract the periosteum will be continuously attracted to surround the bone marrow. The periosteum has relatively weaker electricity current density than the bone marrow. The electricity current density of the bone marrow, which is relatively stronger than the periosteum, is determined the amount of osteon to attach onto the bone marrow. Osteon deposition is to use the osteon attracted on the bone marrow depends on the current density, the attracting time, and the cathode efficiency. So again, density of our bones. That's why in a minute we're going to go into some minerals and how we can take care of our bones, because it ain't milk. It ain't there. Yeah, stop that.
We don't need that.
Alright, here we go. Meridian partially blocked. Alright, we're talking about our energy centers. Right? Meridian partially blocked or completely blocked is the main reason to cause electricity transmission blockage of human beings. Hyang D. Ni Jing Jing Mei said.
An Asian.
You know what I mean? Meridians and collaterals are primarily decisive in life and death, regulate all diseases, and adjust deficiency and excessive. They should maintain to flow smoothly all the time without any blockage at any part of the meridians and collaterals. So when we talk about blockages, okay, we see that we're placing blockages in our cell. We already talked about how the protein in the membrane of the cell is causing blockages from conducting that electricity itself. Now, we as original people, we don't have to have protein in our body at all. Period. You got what I'm saying? We have what's called a melanotropic peptide. So we really don't have to have the protein in our body at all. And if we're consuming it, then, we really, out of order. So, go ahead.
I didn't mean to stop you right here, but it just seemed like over the years of just having sex with this cracker, right? And reproducing with this cracker and making all these zebra. It's like a way the universe put that white blood cell there for that purpose. Because remember, we got a choice. We could grab this back to original, or we could take him off the planet. Mm-hmm. Then I'm seeing that's why all we speaking about right now, we need to have a knowledge of it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Well, we're going to take them off the planet Earth. That's when we get in ourselves to close this cycle here. We don't have a design. We're not grafting them back.
Right.
And we want to take them on.
Yeah.
That's basically what we're doing here right now.
That's what we're doing. And what's interesting about that is it's easier to take them off the planet than it is to graft them back. That's why we said we're not going to lose time. It'll take 600 years grafting them back. There's some science that say the white man won't even be on this planet for another 200 years.
Because of 0% birth rate?
Not even because of that, because of the changing of the Earth's magnetic field. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And the radiation that's being bombarded as we get closer to another star system. Mm-hmm. So there's some science saying that he won't even be here for another 2 years, so we're going to take him off the planet. We ain't losing time grafting them back. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? And then again, if we activate the way we're supposed to activate, and we absorb the solar radiation the way we're supposed to absorb it, like when they say niggas draw heat, right? Yeah. Because we deal with photovoltaics, which means we absorb solar radiation, turn it into electricity. Mm. We also black bodies, so we absorb radiation and we can re-release it. So if they can't even stand in the sun, right? They shouldn't be able to stand in a room full of black people that's radiating the sunlight that we're supposed to be radiating. You got what I'm saying? On a summer day, if all of us been at the beach, you got what I'm saying? And they got to go to the beach and throw on all types of blocks just so they don't catch melanoma, right? There's no way they should be able to walk into this room and we re-emitting all that solar radiation in this small room and they not be sick, diseased, and possibly dead by being in our circle if we radiate the way we're supposed to radiate. That means we're not at the level we're supposed to be. You understand what I'm saying?
And
so
and also say that we don't waste time. Take them off the planet, get going, do what you gotta do.
It's quicker. That's why when you deal with a parasite, what a parasite does is it changes the environment of the host. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So we have a parasite that's a parasite by nature on the earth. It has to change the environment of the earth. And it does this naturally.
Make you other than your own self.
Yeah, it does this naturally. Mm-hmm. We think a lot of times that they just that smart and that diabolical. They are in some ways, but it's just their very nature. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And they have to make its host, livable for themselves. Yeah. So they just do it by nature. Mm-hmm. That's what parasites do. That's what parasites do. According to the above described theory of Chinese medicine, the primary energy electricity source to the human body comes from kidney meridians. They call it Mingmen fire. And in order to transmit energy from kidney meridians, electricity, in order to transmit electricity flow on the meridians in full strength, it requires all meridians, routes, maintaining in perfect condition. This continuous providing higher heat energy to the Ming pin starts the primary energy source circulation on the meridians in perfect condition. So
the Ming pin, what's that, Brad?
That's the liver, the liver, the meridian.
The Ming.
Pardon me. So again, we're dealing with temperature, heat. And when you study black body radiation, it deals with heat, it deals with temperature. It deals with temperature. So we can't underestimate this environment. You know what I'm saying? I like to say that even the birds sometimes is smart enough to get at it here at a certain time. They're like, yeah, we going. So now let's take care of the bones. Right? Because we not drinking milk anymore. Right? Okay. Because we don't need cow DNA to build our bones up because we have strong bones by nature. So we deal with selenium. Right? Selenium is an essential trace element for humans and animals, and several findings suggest that dietary selenium intake may be necessary for bone health. Such findings may relate to roles of selenium in antioxidant protection, enhanced immune surveillance, and modulation of cell proliferation. Again, when we talk about regeneration, we're talking on a cellular level. So we don't want our cells to degenerate. We want them to regenerate. So we're talking about selenium, which is a good mineral for us to consume. And we also talk about its antioxidant protection. That's why they always tell you eat berries.
Yeah.
Berries. Yeah.
The antioxidant, the berries are already there.
Right.
I was reading something that said that has something to do with aloe. You know what I'm saying? The protection from the antioxidant is something to do on dealing with the metallic. I forgot how I was reading. I wanted to actually. I think that's the article I sent you to.
Okay.
It's saying how. Okay, you were speaking about the bone, calcium, and all that. The bone is metal. Is I forgot what kind. How you call it? Is a
copper.
Same thing in the head. So when you were saying about how these how you call it,
meridians,
yeah.
Right?
When they pass it through, I mean, is that point to the carpal is where they basically going, right?
Right.
To cause that ignition, right? To come back and do their job, right?
Right.
All right. I just want to make sure I got it right.
Okay. You were saying something about the. You said something about the
berries. The antioxidant. Yeah.
Right.
Something to do with the aloe. I don't know. You ever heard? You heard it?
I'm not sure. In reference to.
Okay, when we get sick, like you just were saying, the pathogens and everything in your body.
Right.
That electricity, when those areas have the proper
right.
water.
Losing electrons, losing electricity.
Not to lose.
Right. Exactly. So.
It was something oxidized, like your apple. when you leave it out in the brown. Right. So you see it turn brown because
Right, so-
it has hit the air.
Right. So is that what keep that for? Like that's the oil, like that in the system.
That's what's helping. Like when we talk about antioxidants, that's helping to prevent.
That's what,
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what he wants.
You know what I mean? So yeah, and that's why Dr. Sebi calls his diet the electric food.
Right, electric.
You got what I'm saying? Everything on the list might not necessarily be electric, but it's still a pretty good list, a very good list. You know what I mean? That's why he's a legend. That's why he's pretty successful in what he does. You know? So let's talk about some sources of this selenium. One is whole grains. And of course we don't eat rice, we don't eat starch, none of that. We don't eat wheat, right? If you're gonna have to try to maybe eat some wheat, you want spelt kamut, some say rye. I don't go any further than spelt or kamut, okay? It's not the GMO wheat that you get nowadays. You want to deal with, millet, barley, quinoa. Millet, barley, quinoa. Of course, I say the black quinoa. You got black, you got red, you got the lighter. Oh, we always get black quinoa. You know what I mean? I'll tell you where to get it, but because we ain't growing it ourselves, I'll wait and tell you where you can get it for survival purposes, but we need to encourage our people to be growing it ourselves. You got what I'm saying? Because the devil has the opportunity to say, nah, I ain't getting no more black quinoa. I'm going to give you the white one that carries a less charge. Then, you know what I mean? He control your destiny again.
The most devil food is pork. You gotta stop eating pork. It's the worst food.
Yeah, I don't think anybody can even eat that. From walking in the door, I don't think they eat that. You can't even sit in this class.
law school.
Yeah, you can't even sit in this class eating pork. And I don't mean like we're going to kick you out. Nah, you'll start, you sweating and you're going to walk out. You know what I'm saying? Garlic. Again, go easy on the garlic, right? Garlic is a good cleanser. Go easy on the garlic. Because what happens is garlic does what? It thins your blood. So when you understand that electricity, right, is in your red blood cell, because your red blood cell, your hemoglobin carries the oxygen carries the electron, so be easy on the garlic. And we know in the lessons what happens once the blood is thin. Become weak and wicked.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Density. You say density in the bones, right? Density is important.
Density, blood, all of that. Brussels sprouts, asparagus, a lot of nitrogen with the way they grow, so be careful. Red onions, very good. Don't eat the white ones. Vegetables in general, but you gotta know the right vegetables. Chia seeds, make sure you soak them, because they will dehydrate you. I'm not a big seed person or advocate, of seeds, but make sure that they're at least soaked and sprouted and all that. Sunflower seeds, black sesame seeds. We talked last week about the white sesame seeds. We're still going to McDonald's or Burger King. I can't help you anyway. You got what I'm saying? But the white little sesame seeds that they sprinkle on the bun, that's the grafted sesame seed. They have black sesame seed. You know what I'm saying? Then you got your red cabbage. I said red cabbage in general, but I like the red cabbage. So these are some ways that you can get your selenium. Okay? So any other questions before we...
They say pound for pound, cabbage has the same amount as an orange. Pound for pound, no matter how you cook it.
Vitamin C.
Vitamin C, yeah.
Okay. Which orange? Which orange?
Big one, little one.
Yeah. Now I'm saying that because you gotta, you gotta be careful with the oranges these days. So to wrap it on up, again, we talk about melanin often because it's a conductor of electricity. We talk about our hair. I think it was who was it, the Nuwapians or Dr. York's people that call it 9 ether, right? You know what I mean? Coil, our DNA coils. So not only are we the physical manifestation of this electromagnetic energy, right? But our body is then designed to be a conductor of this electromagnetic energy. So as we see, our entire skeleton, our bone structure is a cathode. It is a place where electrons can travel through like a battery. You got what I'm saying? So when we're doing the right things, there's no way we should be walking around not being able to solve our problems. Because we can conduct electricity. We can come up with revelation. We can fast. We can meditate. And we can literally absorb the energy that holds the cosmos together. We are it in a physical form, and then we can absorb more of it. We do it through our cells. We do it through our organs. And this is who we are as a people. So I'm going to say, peace, family.
Peace. I would think that meditation on a problem, constant repetition of thought throughout the day,
absolutely,
on a problem, make you solve a problem.
Yes, thought. Because what is thought? We measure thought as electrical impulses in the brain. So again, it's all about electricity. You know what I'm saying? We cannot lose that. It's all about electricity. So when you think about some of the things that we do that's blocking ourselves from conducting electricity, like we have what's called tubulins in our cell. And we talk about, and that's how, we conduct electricity in our cells, and how aluminum breaks that connection, that conductivity. So we have a lot of brothers that's like, yeah, I eat fish. You got what I'm saying? Yeah. All the mercury that's in the fish, so this is why we not glowing and shining like we supposed to be glowing and shining, like the ancestors spoke about. We supposed to be shining. You know what I mean? When they called us the sun, the moon, and the stars, and this is literal. You know what I mean? A lot of us take it symbolically and figuratively. This is literal. We supposed to be shining. We supposed to be shining. You know what I mean? So if we not shining, and we got people that are anti-sun or allergic to the sun, and we're not shining, then this is how they can rule over us. But if we shining like we're supposed to shine, there's nobody that can't take sunlight that should be able to take us. You know what I mean? Because ultimately we produce the sun itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we ain't shining, we doing something wrong.
Actual fact. So again, see the sister in the back, so you can add on. We do the 120 classes, beginners and all that. Peace, guys.
Can will I be able to take like a photo of the doc?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We do it all the time. A lot of times the documents and stuff that we're going through is sometimes European based, so that's why we got to go through and find the ins and outs.
I got like biology books that I'm gonna take it through the terms and do my research.
There you go. All right, peace, family.
That was peace right there, brother.
I appreciate you coming through.
Peace and Black Power family. Welcome to another Sarnetta TV House of Consciousness production, Black News 102 and Sarnetta Studios. I'm here with the brothers, with the nation, with the gods, and the brother gave up a powerful lecture dealing with biology, dealing with health and nutrition and food. My brother, please introduce yourself to the people that's out there that may not know you, brother.
Peace. I come in the righteous name of Born Mastermind Allah. And I teach the Black Biology Tuesdays at a law school in Mecca. Every Tuesday, 5 p.m. at a law school on 7th Avenue between 126 and 127. Peace.
Talk to me about coming back in the street. Remember we was having this conversation. I think it is very important for the brothers to bring the ciphers back into the street, because everybody's not going to come into the building. So how important is the guards picking one day out of a week, let's say like every Saturday or whatever day you pick, to go over there by the Adam Clayton Powell building or something and have a nice cipher like it used to be back in the days, the kids walking by, that it will be very interesting. They stop and they looking and they listen and they learning. Talk to me about the importance of that, brother.
Yeah, well, that's of extreme importance. Because if we don't get back out into these streets, then the babies are lost. You got everybody pulling them this way, that way. They looking up to the rappers. They looking up to the the artists, the athletes, and all of them are brain dead. That's the bottom line. They all brain dead. They all plugged into this European anti-civilization. So we're gonna have to go back into the streets like it used to be. In fact, when I was a little boy, the guards were in the streets. And that's why hip-hop music itself was even different, because the guards was out there in the streets. So that way it influenced the artists, it influenced the gangs, it influenced every aspect of black life. And that's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to get back out into the streets and get these babies.
I think the class that you're teaching right now on biology, do you have another, you're going to continue on with the same class, or you have a different topic coming up?
Actual fact. I do different topics every week. Sometimes I do a part 2 to a topic I've done. Depending on how extensive I go into that particular topic, but it's pretty much a new topic every week. We have a lot to cover.
Do you consider yourself a part of the conscious community? Like, we say y'all are part of the conscious community, whether y'all identify with it or not. Do you yourself consider yourself to be a part of the conscious community?
That's an interesting question. When you deal with the conscious community, there's a lot of different, words that are being used to describe it. Now, if we want to deal with just consciousness itself, being aware, then absolutely we are part of the conscious community. But sometimes it has gotten such a bad rap with people getting, mystical and spaced out, not dealing with reality. You have a lot of people that stray away from that community. So a lot of times you'll say so-called conscious community, but just dealing with consciousness as what it is, being aware, then absolutely. I look at it like we the forerunners of the conscious community. The gods and the earths have always been dropping science, dropping knowledge to make the people aware. So absolutely.
That's peace, brother, and that's what's been going on. The brothers, the nation of gods and earths. Y'all still call yourself that, or?
Actual fact.
Okay.
Some like to say the law is 5%.
Right. What happened to the 5% back in the day? That's what we used to say, the 5%.
Right. Yeah, you still got brothers that hold on to the tradition, call themselves Allah's 5%. You got some people that still, call themselves 5%. And then you have those that just stick with Nation of Gods and Earths. Because you can be a 5%er, but not necessarily in the Nation of God and Earth. You could be a 5%er and not necessarily God. So, that's a word that, you have to have a understanding of before you flip and play with it. But, it doesn't strike me one way or the other. You can call me Nation of Gods and Earth. You can call me 5% or whatever. That's peace to me.
All right. That's peace, brother. I'm just happy that you called me, that we made this connection, because we have a lot of things coming up, like with brothers like that's in the Moors Nation, Dr. Ali Muhammad. But it's always been the brothers missing from our dialogues, and I would try so many times to see if we could get some of the brothers over here, and it was, the brothers just be missing. They only come out on their days, like on every the last day of the month, Parliament, and I think that's what's been missing, man. So we need y'all brothers back in the fold with us, and when I say with us, I'm talking about with the family, giving that knowledge and information to the people. Remember I told you?
Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely ready. It's time for the, the gods to get back out on the forefront. In the music, I work with a lot of artists who, do music. They come in here to get lessons. They come in here to get mathematics so they can spread it back out to the world. So absolutely, gods is taking their square again. We about to hit these streets back hard and doing what we supposed to do. A lot of brothers, they rest on their laurels. That happens in a lot of movements, a lot of different communities. But yeah, we coming back out like we supposed to. So the gods will be on the scene. You have something, you call me, and we will be doing what we got to do. Right. Oh, man, we have so many different topics. One thing where I think we get confused at is when we call ourselves God, how to actualize it biologically. We literally have the body that conducts this, what they call, you can call it spirit, you can call it whatever you want to call it, but we know it's an electromagnetic energy. We know it's dark energy, dark matter, cosmic microwave background radiation, many different names of this energy that actually produces and keeps the cosmos together. We know that we have the biological body designed to actually conduct it, and we are it. So what happens is, not having this information, this knowledge, we think that we are just like everybody else, so we following everybody's diet, we following everybody's way of life, and it's been destructive for us as a people, as a community. So once we get off of that paradigm and get back to who we are naturally, then you'll see us rising at the levels we need to rise. So we definitely can go into that. I want to say, as far as the Nation of God and Earth, and again, it's a nation. I don't speak for everybody. I speak for myself, and I speak for a lot of brothers that I know that agree with me. Sometimes you do see us missing from the scene of the so-called conscious community. Well, we back, we here to stay, and we're not going to allow anybody to take the blackness out of this culture. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's about doing for our people, and that's simple.
Okay, I'm about to ask you a controversial question right now. Do you see yourself as pro-black? And the reason I say a controversial question because I have asked many gods that.
Yes.
And they say, non-cipher, God, we not pro-black, we pro-humanity. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So when I'm saying pro-black, I'm talking about putting us first, our people first, like every other nation do. The Chinese put themselves first, the Koreans, especially the so-called Jews. But when it comes to us as a people, we always got to have open arms for everybody and love everybody. You see, and I think that's the problem. If we don't put ourselves first, the first laws of nature is self-preservation. If we don't put ourselves first and foremost, like everybody else, then we're going to fail. You see, but if we put ourselves first, and then maybe we can open our arms and help someone else come up. But we got to put ourselves first. Do you see yourself pro-black and anti-white?
Okay. well, first I'm going to say, when we deal with mathematics, right, and putting things in its proper order, if we did not put black people first, that wouldn't even be in its proper order mathematically. So we have to put ourselves first, and that's been one of the biggest problems that we have as a community is we haven't been putting ourselves first. So one thing you'll hear in our nation is, yeah, we're not pro-black nor anti-white. We are, pro-righteousness and anti-devilishment. Well, speaking for myself and some brothers who may agree with me as well, I am 1,000% pro-black. Pro means to be for. Pro means to be an advocate of, a supporter of. So I'm absolutely for black people. Now, a lot of people misunderstand that as being, a black person, could be an enemy. They could be unrighteous. Well, I'm even for that person because I'm for them becoming civilized and getting themselves together and doing the right thing. So I'm for black people 1,000%.
Beautiful, brother. That's peace right there. How do you make the connection between the lessons that you've been studying and ancient Kemet? How do you put them two together and build off of both of them? Because the land of the blacks, they call themselves gods. They was the gods. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of our people don't understand that. How do you make that connection?
It's a wonderful connection. One thing about these lessons, which is so brilliant, which makes, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Master Farad Muhammad, of course, our father of this nation, Allah, so brilliant, was that it was all in 120. A lot of the stories from Kemet, a lot of the sciences from Kemet are in 120. You just have to know how to go into it and break it down. And once you start breaking it down from a scientific standpoint, understand the stories that's in it and the history that's in it, Kemet is all through the lessons and science is all through the lessons. So, anybody that has a thorough knowledge of 120 that's been studying it for years and taking it through the science would not deny Kemet's impact on these lessons. So it's absolutely connected.
Okay. How do you really break down the lesson when it says the woman is secondary but most necessary? There's a lot of people out there in the conscious community that would disagree. They will say the black woman is the mother of civilization. She is the forerunner. So I guess they don't understand behind you like she's back there. No, she's very much up front. Break that down, what that really means when you say she is secondary but most necessary.
Okay. That's a term that we use, which really means when you deal with science and you put things in its proper order, you deal with energy, right? Energy first, and then you have matter. We know that energy is a masculine principle. Energy is masculine or male in nature. It contains both male and female principles, but it's masculine, male in nature. And then when energy then slows down or appears to slow down into the form we call matter, that is a female principle or female in nature, still both contained in the male and female principles. That's why ancestors spoke about male and female at one time being together, and then at some point it differentiated. So when we talk about the black man being God, the black woman is actually the womb. She is actually the womb where God comes into physical form. So first you have that energy, which is a mind, which is the black man, and then you have that womb, that black womb, which is the black woman, where God then comes through in a physical form. Also, you can look at it as when you understand the science of supermassive black holes, when you understand the science of supermassive black holes and how the galaxy, every known galaxy actually orbits a supermassive black hole. And within that supermassive black hole, you have a universe in that supermassive black hole. So it's actually a womb, and it's the womb of the black woman. Now, what keeps that supermassive black hole spinning is what's called torque. That's the mind or the intelligence of the black man. And this is all from a scientific standpoint. Sometimes we get caught up with the physicality, or we get caught up on this physical plane. But when you understand this science on a much deeper level, you understand that that is the black man and the black woman which came before all of this.
All right, brother. I noticed the gods deal with science, which is beautiful, which is the root. That's the root. That's, you're dealing with the science. What about history? How deep do y'all go into history? Do y'all put the two together? Do y'all have like a history class and the science class? Because out there in another world, they deal with science, metaphysics, and history. That's what's going on right now. That's like the Armor Raw Squad, what my brother mentioned. That's all they study is the science and history. They going back thousands and thousands of years, showing which came first: Hebrew, Muslims, ancient Kemetic science. And this is why I said the nation, you need to get into these type of conversations. Right. Call in on the radio. I could hit you with a few numbers. Call in on the radio, begin to have these discussions, because I know you could bring something real powerful to the table scientifically. You see what I'm saying? So how do y'all make these connections between history and science? I know y'all kick a lot of science. Right. I don't hear y'all really breaking down too much history.
Okay. The history is absolutely imperative. So we definitely study history, and we must study history. We must get a greater command of history in general. So me personally, even though science is more my area of expertise as opposed to history, I understand the importance of history and our need to continue to study it. So there's no denying the fact. Right. You absolutely have to. And I often do, particularly in these classes, I combine a lot of history with the science. So history is absolutely important. However, when you deal with mathematics and science, that's something that it predates what's known as history. It predates this planet, or something that was written, on paper. So sometimes history could get fuzzy. So if you don't have the science and the mathematics to kind of sort through the history, you could get confused. And that's where we have, you have debates and arguments and disagreements on something that necessarily can't be proven. So that's why we deal with mathematics and science. But history is imperative for us to study. Well, peace. I come in the righteous name of Born Mastermind Allah, and I do classes every Tuesday in Harlem on 7th Avenue, Adam Clayton Boulevard, at 2122 7th Avenue, between 126th Street and 127th Street, at a law school in Mecca. That's every Tuesday at 5 p.m. It's called Black Biology Tuesdays. So come and check it out. Not only do we teach that the black man is God, but we show and prove it scientifically how the black man is God in a biological way. And then we also give tangible things that we can do as a people to get back to who we are. Peace.
All right. Peace, my brother.